So how's you all? I hope you all are fine. So today I'm here for telling you all about SSB, Staff Selection Board. So India has three types of defense services as everybody know, namely Indian Army, Indian Air Force and Indian Navy. These services are very prestigious and stand in high esteem. At the same time, they have maintained their pride and honor through defending the nation whenever it found necessary. From past decades, there has been a trend in defense services, that is, more and more youth are getting attracted by these services and its charm of posts available in Army, Navy and Air Force. These posts are filled by the exams conducted by UPSC, that is Union Public Service Commission, and the final board of SSB, that is Services Selection Board, and it is an organization which is set up by Ministry of Defense, India. So to get into the services of Indian Army, aspirants should be at least 12th passed in case of NDA and graduate for other defense academies. To join Navy or Air Force, one must be from science background. But for the administration and logistic branches of Navy or Air Force, aspirants of any stream are eligible. Such aspirants are required to go through the entrance exam conducted by UPSC and interviews by SSB. So the interviews exercise conducted by SSB is mainly a psychological assessment of the personality of the candidate to gauge his or her potential as a future officer in Indian military. The tests conducted by the SSB aim at selecting individual with OLQs, that is officer-like qualities. So in short, I would like to say some words, some things. After the final selection, aspirants who have passed their 12th class are made to pursue BSc in NDA and BTech for Naval Academy. There are some posts in armed forces for engineering background, and aspirants are not required to attempt UPSC entrance exam, but they have to go through the interviews conducted by SSB. In filling the vacant post of Air Force, aspirants are supposed to get through the Air Force aptitude test. Okay. So, highlights of career as an Army officer, I would like to say. Being an officer, one gets personal satisfaction for serving his own motherland. It provides him best training and educational facilities. It provides us an opportunity to become a leader in a true sense. Sports and adventure facilities provided by the Army are best in the country. It provides purposeful and disciplined lifestyle. It ensures economic security with better service career, promotions and pay scale. Ranks. Commission ranks in Army, Navy and Air Force are just tabulated below. So in Army, Navy and Air Force, I would like to mentionize. Lieutenant, in Navy, Sub-Lieutenant, and in Air Force, Flying Officer. Then Captain, Lieutenant, Flight Officer or Lieutenant. Then Major, Lieutenant Commander, Squadron Leader. Then Lieutenant Colonel, Commander, Wing Commander. Colonel, Captain, Group Captain, Brigadier, Commodore, Air Commodore. Then Major General, Rear Admiral, Air Vice Marshal. Lieutenant General, Vice Admiral, Air Marshal, Vice Chief of Army Staff, Vice Chief of Navy Staff, Vice Chief of Air Staff. And here, General Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Commander-in-Chief, Air Officer Commander-in-Chief, Chief of Army Staff, Admiral, Air Chief Marshal. Pays and perks. According to the 6th Pay Commission, starting salary of commissioned officers is 55,000 rupees, with perks like canteen, free medical, clubs, sports, travel, etc. Entry eligibility. In defense, the qualification at every level and entry level ranges from high secondary to Post-graduation. Some of the important entries are as follows. So, National Defense Academy entry. Students pass 12th class with physics, chemistry and mathematics, that is PCM, can enter the NDA and Naval Academy. At the Naval Academy, candidates are put through 4 years BTech program, where at the NDA candidates go through the graduation. Only graduation. So the government takes care of all the expenses of lodging, boarding and education. Apart from this, the candidates are paid as a stipend of 10,000 rupees per month. The UPSC conducts an entrance test twice a year. Aspiring candidates can go through this test and thereafter they have to pass the examination conducted by Services Selection Board, that is SSB. Now technical entry scheme is there. Candidates with PCM at their high secondary level are eligible for their scheme. There is a high demand for technical officers in the military, and apart from PCM, candidates of almost any discipline of engineering are eligible to join the technical scheme. They do not have to appear in any entrance test, but they have to pass in the SSB, that is Service Selection Board. Graduate entry scheme is also there. In Indian Air Force and Indian Navy, science graduates are preferred, where graduates of any stream can join the Indian Army. Graduates of BBA, BCom and BA are preferred to join in ground duty or admin branches of Air Force and logistic branches of the Indian Navy. The candidates have to go through with the same procedure as mentioned at the entry of NDA. To join logistic branch in the Indian Navy, no entrance test is conducted, but the candidates have to secure 60% marks in graduation. Now, NCC Special Entry Scheme. Candidates who hold NCC, that is National Cadet Corps, so C certificate, are eligible to join the armed forces. They do not have to sit for the UPSC entrance examination, but they have to pass in the SSB. Now, women entry scheme. Women candidates, both graduates and postgraduates, are also being inducted with some of the branches of the armed forces. They are being inducted in flying arms in the Air Force, Indian Air Force. It is presumed that the armed forces in future will become an equal opportunity employer, offering a greater role to the women in the service of the country. Now, SSB call letters and reporting. The candidates who clear the entrance exam are called through the call letters to appear for SSB interview at different centers allotted to the candidates. Some candidates are recommended by Preliminary Interview Board, that is PIB, for Territorial Army, and some candidates are recommended through direct entries. The call letters given the information to the candidate that when and where to report. One of the day of arrival, you have to report to the Movement Current Control Office, that is MCU, at the railway station. Here, a representative of selection center managing the reception will receive you and direct you to a bus that will take you to the selection center. So those who arrive late or by road should proceed directly to the selection center after reporting. You'll get sufficient time to settle down. Normally, the afternoons are free, except your interview day. You can make use of this opportunity to visit places of interest, shop and have fun. Now, points to remember before reporting. As the first time attender of SSB interview, there are certain things expected to do before reporting. First and foremost, keep in mind the complete process of SSB about what you are expected to do there. Secondly, don't forget any document. Keep all necessary documents and a photocopy of the document. Make arrangement for reservations. Stay before the SSB day or after it also, as per your conditions. Make a list of things, clothing, etc. which you have to carry with yourself. Now, composition of SSBs. The SSB consists of following members. First is the interviewing officer, ITO, comprised of the president and deputy president. Second, the group testing officer, GTO, Each ward consists of 4 GTOs. Each group consists of 4 GTOs. Means your whole group in which you are going to be divided, there will be 4 members and will be the group testing officer. Next is the psychologist. Each ward has 4 psychologists again. So schedule at SSBs. In the following ways, the candidates are addressed and are given instructions at SSB. I would like to continue it from here. Opening, address and form filling. The duty officer gives an introductory talk explaining matters of administrative details, do's and don'ts, and code of conduct at selection center. You are also required to complete documentation including verification of required certificates for age, educational qualifications. All candidates are allotted test number for further testing. It is important to remember that you are not competing with other candidates. All of you will be assessed against a common standard of the suitability, and it is possible for everyone in the group to be recommended and not recommended. Other than the day of the arrival reporting, the SSBs have a 5-day testing schedule. With these tests, they are not looking at your physical fitness. The tests are also geared to let them know more about the various shades of your personality. The exact schedule of the test may be varied depending on the number of candidates to be tested, and GTO tests may be done in a single day if warranted. Now, general instructions. The testing will last for 5 days, as you all know, in 2 stages excluding the day of arrival. If you secure the minimum acceptable grading all the tests, you will be retained at this center for another 3 to 4 days or even longer for your medical examination. Candidates will be administered to the stage 1 of the selection procedure on the next day of their arrival. Candidates failing to make the grade in stage 1 will be returned back on the same day. Candidates recommended for stage 2 only will be retained for further testing. Now, what about documents? Documents. Candidates need to bring all educational certificates and mark sheets commencing from class 10 to till date in original, including provisional and degree certificates for graduate and 3 candidates. 2 photostat copies of all mark sheets. Duly attested means attached, should also be brought. Photo identity card of your school, college and driving license, passport or voter ID card, Aadhaar card, UPSC admit card as a proof of identity. Now, baggage. Candidates are advised to bring the following items: 1 pair of white PT shoes or sports shoes, or we can say 2 pairs of white socks, 2 pairs of shoes during monsoons, 1 pair of tracksuit during winter, 2 pairs of white shorts and t-shirts, woolen sweater during winter season. Minimum 1 pair of dark colored trouser and light color full and half sleeved shirt. For women candidates, 2 pair of tracksuits or trousers or slacks with the appropriate tops in salwar kameez. Since these will be required for outdoor tasks, they should be loose enough to allow free movements, yet should not hamper movement through excessive looseness. A woolen sweater and during winter season is required. For Sikh candidates only, Sikh candidates should bring turban, that is pagadi, for SSB interview at the center. Now, guidance tips for screening test. These will cover in different ones. Thanks a lot.